I'm still going backwards. Okay, let's go forwards. Good evening everybody, my name is Osa and tonight I am starting a new playthrough on the Old Stream Farm. We're playing with seasons. Now I have started on new farmer mode, so we have the usual farm, and I have sold everything except the buildings and other placeables. And we bought a tractor, because tractors is useful. So there we go, there's the farm. It's still got the repair point, it's still got the power wash. Every single piece of equipment has been sold. And we have ourselves a nice New Holland T6, 175 horsepower. And a plow. That's it. Oh, we kept the front loader and the bucket. Not that I need a bucket for a front loader right now. At least not until it snows, although it has kind of been snowing this morning. We are playing with a 6-day season. So, this is quick math, 24 days for a year. And I don't think that was particularly well lined up. No, it wasn't. Okay. So yeah, I've gone with a normal plough rather than the regular culti plough that we tend to go with. And I figured New Holland, because we haven't done New Holland yet. .175 horsepower is a little bit more than the Massey Ferguson 5700 that we were using in the previous playthrough. So we are going to be able to do a little bit more heavy work. At the moment the ground is cold, frozen, every single field we own needs ploughed, every single field we own needs limed. So we will be getting all of that out of the way before we can plant anything. The ground is under drought conditions, so planting anything is going to be troublesome because the seeds just will fail to germinate, which means we'll either not get any crop planted or we'll get very patchy crop. It's not going to be a good thing either. It had been snowing when the game started. Well, kind of light flakes of snow, so it wasn't settling, but it was kind of cold. Now I could, if I wanted to, buy a second tractor and put something on a worker. But frankly right now, since the only job we can actually do is plough every single field we have, which is all 7 of them, there's really not a lot of point in getting any more equipment. We'll buy it as we need it. As I said, I've sold everything, so we're $347,000 euros flush at the moment. So that'll be a good thing for now. I may skip purchasing a harvester for the first year, much like I did with the Lawfolds playthrough, because we don't need one till fall. We are going to need to buy a second set of wheels for the New Holland, at least for now. Since we have absolutely zero income until the fall. Well, we might have some income. Because I didn't check what's in the silo, so there may be some stuff in the silo we could sell. I also want to look at the map right about now. Right, so that is all the starting plot of land. So we get fields 1 to 7. Also purchased a variable weight, which allows us to put additional plates on it to make it heavier or lighter as needed. Which is kind of useful. Zoom out again and figure out which button that is. Now, part of the issue with this map is we don't start with any grass fields. I may actually convert some of these into grass. I do plan to go back into sheep. We'd already bought 30, maybe 40, so we'll get back into that again fairly quickly. But I'm also not particularly in any rush to get all of the ploughing done immediately, since this is, as I said, the only job we can do right now. All these fields are going to need to be limed as well. But it's not like we're in a... yeah, we can do that as a second job as opposed to doing all of it now. We start on a Monday. Wednesday, I believe we're expecting possibly, the further out we go, the less likely it is that the weather report is accurate, or the weather prediction is accurate, some rain. And if we get some rain, that will help the ground for moisture, and thus maybe make it more likely that our seeds will grow if we plant some. So where was that? Oh, we're actually on the right page. So precipitation, Wednesday, 40%, 0 millimeters. That's not too good. 10% on Thursday. Friday is the first serious rain. Today, so this is Monday, Tuesday, early spring. Wednesday, Thursday, a mid-spring. Not a lot of chance of rain. Friday, Saturday, a late spring. So that's here. We should be in a pretty good place to be able to plant anything we want to, with soybeans and corn carrying over into the summer. So until we reach that point, we don't have a lot of business to do. I could buy sheep early, go and buy some bales and ship them down to the farm. Unfortunately, well, yeah, we could do that. I may need to buy one bale and see if it'll store properly. So obviously this farm is actually set up for loose materials, as we can store all of that in the main silo. Also, since none of the maps are prepared except the 2 in-game maps, we could have an issue with hay and straw rotting, because it's not what's in what's considered to be a proper building. Typically, in-game buildings have what is called a snow mask, which defines where snow can fall, and thus rain, and thus where you can store bales safely. Mod buildings do not. Also, if we plant grass, it'll probably take a season to establish. We can plant it early. It's still too cold to plant grass. Could plant that field out front as grass though. I know in the previous playthrough we went down to field 29 and bought that, and that worked fairly well. There's quite a lot of significant changes that happened with animals with seasons, like they can die. Some of the sheep don't produce wool, but they do produce meat. Male animals animals don't breed, female animals do. Similar with cows. There are two types of dairy cow and two types of meat, and all the Brahman cows are meat. No worries, Steep. How you doing? This isn't my usual schedule, as we lost power over the weekend, so we weren't expected to get power until late this week, so I figured the day the power came back up I would probably not be streaming that night because I'd need to catch up with a load of stuff, and the first stream would have been tomorrow, but we got power back early. Oh, that's not particularly straight, I missed a bit. So I missed voting on the Farm Sim mod contest because I had no power, and I also missed the introduction of seasons, so this is my first chance to look at seasons for 19. Remember in Farm Sim 17 they had a mod contest. You know, loads of people entered mods into the contest, and then you get to vote on the best mods. They did the same again for 19, and the mods were submitted last week, and basically I didn't have much of a chance to look at any of them. Oh, thanks for the raid. I mean, I know last year there was a lot of really good mods last year. I don't know, maybe I got over enthusiastic with mods in Farm Sim 17, because initially I was just looking for mods everywhere and downloading everything I could find, but kind of for 19 I've got a little bit more selective, and it's sort of, does this mod provide me with anything different to what's already around, or what mods I've already got. So if it's not a significant mod, I'm tending to look at it and say, well, I might take a look at it, but then I might get rid of it because it's not significant enough. I mean, we do have AdBlue, DEF for the tractors now, if they're modern enough. Oops. And apparently that was coded into the game but wasn't implemented, and so someone added a mod that tracks your DEF use and requires that you go and buy some every so often. There's a thing. I'll say thank you when that pops up on the screen. Ah, Steep is now following me. Well, thanks for the follow as well. And most of the mods I do play with are the sort of the quality of life mods. I've got, you'll see the real-time clocks up in the top right hand corner. I've got, it's not drive assist, but it adds forward and reverse drive to the tractors. So that's what the little green arrow is above the speedometer at the bottom right. So I have a go and stop button as opposed to a go forwards and stop and go backwards button, which can get quite annoying to Oh, and Binpin's here. Hello Binpin, how you doing? We got power back early, and so there will be some more ships tomorrow if you're interested. I think you're kind of the third famous person or famous Twitch person I've had following me. I also have V-Blue Guitar, who plays Farm Sim and other sims, and aka Ashley, who is a World of Warships contributor. Oops. Let's doink that tree. Yeah, I kind of joined his community because he was doing a lot of multiplayer stuff. We did multiplayer trucking, multiplayer farming for 17. Less so since the summer started and he got himself a fiancée. Be careful not to drive into the wood pile, because I think that goes down to the stream. I'll have the name of the farm. Yeah, he got sort of sponsorship deal with Stara just after Estancia Lapacho came out for Farm Sim 17. And they provided him with various sales videos and videos from farming conventions in South America that he could sort of strategically place in his YouTube videos. And so they gave him, or they spoke to Giants and got him an early access on Farm Sim 19. So, me, I'm too young for that. I only just started streaming in September. I only just got a decent enough PC to actually stream and play games at the same time. My old PC, I think, was circa 2012, and even some of the Farm Sim 17 maps it was kind of struggling with. Not so much that the game became unplayable, but it was, there were noticeable points on some maps that were less than ideal. I got into the what was it? The beta for Train Sim World, and I played that for all of a couple of hours, and it was on my computer completely unplayable. We weren't talking FPS, we were talking SPF, and when you're playing 10 seconds per frame, it's like trying to play a simulator with a series of stills shown at you every 10 seconds apart, and trying to stop a train at a platform or before you crash through the buffers at the end of a siding was completely impossible. So I gave up with that one. Now I have the new PC, it's probably well capable of playing Train Sim World, but I haven't been inclined to get into the game seriously, so I never bothered. Oh yeah, but I like to see me crashing the train. You know, it's no fun where you're on the tracks and then the train's strewn around all over the place and you're left figuring, what the heck happened? Well, actually, one of the fun ones on that one was Train Simulator, the original game that gets updated every year. They had a map between, what was it, York and Newcastle on the east coast of England, and one of the missions you could drive was the brand new intercity high-speed train, sort of dated back in the 1970s, and you had special dispensation to drive the train over the speed limit for the line. And so I cranked that baby up to 125 miles an hour, ignoring all the speed limit signs, which initially were saying, oh, maximum speed 100, maximum speed 80, no big problems. And then when you get to Newcastle, it comes maximum speed 40, and then maximum speed 20 with a 90-degree turn onto a bridge over the river, and the train started tilting, and then it tilted more, and then it fell off. And that was quite spectacular, going through that from the cab view. It's sort of, oh, I've really overcooked this, haven't I? And yes, I did. So yes, that was a lot of fun. I actually brushed off Train Simulator the other week, last weekend I think it was, before the power went out. Played a bit. Well, yeah, but sometimes the signs are there because physics. A lot of the East Coast Main Line isn't, doesn't suffer much from physics. It's more the state of the track, which has slowly been improved over the years since the 1970s. But when the original British Rail high-speed train came out, you were talking tracks that had been laid in the 1950s, 1940s, and maximum speed in those days was 60, 70 miles an hour, or at least the average speed in those days. So you suddenly have a train that's capable of doing 125, and you have the passengers in back throwing up because they're being thrown all over the place because the tracks are in such a bad state. But obviously the entrance to a lot of stations, they control very slow speeds because of all the switches. And I've still got reverse engage. Let's go forwards. So, game time is 10 o'clock. We've nearly finished ploughing the first field. Oh, there is a lot of DLCs on Train Sim. However, to be fair, you don't need them all, and you tend to be, or at least most people tend to be, fairly specific in what they like to drive. I mean, my personal preference is UK Steam's, specifically West Coast region. And if you limit yourself to something like that, and you limit yourself to only buying during sales, it's not that bad. Yeah, $20 for a locomotive is expensive, but you know, of the 50 locomotives they may have released, I'm interested in 2 of them, and I'll wait till there's a sale, and I may be able to get them for, you know, $7.50 or $5, depending on how long ago it was that the locomotive was actually released. Maps are a little bit more pricey, but once again, if you don't want the latest map, if you're happy to wait for 6 months to a year, you can get those at a discount on sale as well. Thank you. But yeah, I don't own all of the DLC. I have zero interest in the European trains, and so as far as that goes, I've only got the European lines that came with the game, or each year with the update when I wanted to buy the update, because obviously each year they tend to release you know, the new version for people who haven't got it yet, and it comes with usually a British line, European line and American line. And then oh no, that's fine. You can get off. I think I may still have an audience of some. But yeah, take care, have fun, and probably see you again sometime. I stream most nights, unless the kids are misbehaving. But have fun, good to see you again. A bit out of it. There we go. Yeah, take care. You too. Okay. So the good news about this map is I haven't seen any bad trees yet, which is apparently a problem with some maps on Seasons, because people used Farm Sim 17 trees and the what is it? The graphics ad for Seasons, where it shows naked trees for winter and fully clothed trees for summer.